All right, everybody, we're back in the Interception again. Bittersweet because we're glad to be back, but of course, Trinidad not getting the result that we all wanted. 6-0 defeat to the USA not too long ago, which means that we are now out of the Gold Cup 2023, finishing third in the group. Of course, USA topping it and Jamaica second after they defeated St. Kitts tonight as well. But of course, we're here to break it down, and we're here with Jeremy, Rennie, and Khalik making his debut here on the Interception. So Khalik, we coming straight to baptism by fire, they call it. What went wrong today? What went wrong today for the Soca Warriors? I mean 6-0. But what were your thoughts on the game?
My thoughts on the game were we simply lacked that passion, that energy to get over the finish line. Our football is very lackadaisical. When you look at Coach Angus, Eve, and the staff in the technical area, you didn't see no kind of enthusiasm. They're like, okay, we make it this far, we weren't supposed to make it this far. And they're comfortable. That's how.
And also, a lot of people were making some criticisms about the team selection. Certain players who they thought should not have been there, certain players who we thought should have been there based on recent form that we saw in the local league and whatnot. Open floor question. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think apart from what colleagues say there with the passion and the drive from the technical team and throughout the whole squad, you think there were some tactical deficiencies from Angus in this game particularly?
I try to understand before I criticize, right? And I try to understand what was this formation about. Like was it okay? So like I remember that even when we conceded heavily against Jamaica, we switched on a back four, that kind of like a back three, and like like I try to understand where the vision was in it. Like if it was for going up against Jamaica and USA, who are teams that are very attack oriented, the color of the playing style, like what it is that we wanted to occur in this tournament. And I still don't understand. I still don't understand whether or not we were trying to play conservative or whether or not we trying to basically hold out. Like can have teams that like okay, they're watching club football. Burnley going up against a City, Burnley will literally lock down discipline. Everybody like you can say it's a back nine more or less, right? No, I believe it's like a back nine. And if like you see this man Wood, when he was playing for them, when Wood get a ball, he tried to screen off thing, maybe even on the set pieces, go forward, everybody go forward, try to make something happen on the set pieces. I have no problem with Trinidad playing like that. No problem. Is it the proudest football we ever seen? No. But I have no problem. But what I don't understand is that I know what's going on. We're not even looking like if it's conservative, it's looking like a mixture of conservative but aggressive. And that don't make sense. Because then this will happen, will keep on happening. You'll get results like this. So yeah, I obviously there are deficiencies in his plans, but I don't even understand what was his plans. And I don't think I have to be a coach with a coaching license to say that though. If a coach can tell me what was Angus' plans or what he interpreted to be, I'll pay my salary for the month.
How much is that?
Right? As much as Angus owned.
Yeah. No, but understood. But one thing I wanted to pick up on as well, fellas, Rennie, well, I'll direct this one to you. We was talking before, well, in the previous episode, I believe the fellas was talking about the exposure of the players, right? And I don't know I hope all you agree with me in saying today that our best player on the pitch was Levi Garcia. It was clear to see. Yeah, well, to me at least, I think he was the best. I don't know, you all might have others, but if you do agree with me, right? Do you think it is because of the level that he playing at throughout the season in over in Greece? Is the reason why we seeing that, the level he performed at as opposed to the other guys today? Because I know we mentioned the drive and the passion today, but I saw it in Levi. I saw it in Levi at the end of the game, even when they lost. He was lying down on the ground and kind of holding his face and things. So that kind of indicated something to me. But what's all the fellas' thoughts on that?
I think it's confidence, and I'll leave it for man like Granny to explain why I say I think it's confidence. Go through and
I think confidence as well as yes, he has been exposed to a different level of football. It might be more physical, it might not be as physical, so he would have a different experience. And of course, going off of what colleague said about the technical area and going off of what Jeremy said about tactics, and I link in that to team selection, because yes, Levi Garcia would have experience playing at a top level, and some of these players may not have this similar experience. We might have players who want to have this experience, So I think as much as Levi Garcia, I agree that he was the best player on the pitch, right? But in terms of having players we have players here locally who want to be at the highest level, who want to play at the highest level. And that's the kind of fellas that say now home watching the game. And we sending people out there and are not taking away from the quality of players, their abilities or whatever. I'm not taking away. I'm just saying that some people deserve a chance, And we do have players that hungry and people who would give their all in a game, who don't want to lose, and you can't leave those players home. So that's why. But honestly, I had to throw this, like, as of course everything is fall on you as a manager, but like today was evident of it, as a coach, as a manager, because you just really had to ask yourself what was his plan from the get-go. So from team selection, come forward. From team selection to tactics, what was your plan? I had no idea what the tactic was today. I don't know, as Jeremy said, if it was you're playing a more defensive game, you're just trying to soak up pressure for as long as you can, you catch them on the counter. I don't know if you're trying to occupy spaces. Nothing was clear, It looked like he just say by 11 or they go outside and maybe you'll get opportunity. Maybe. If we get two, we get lucky. You understand? But that's that. I feel like we have a very small-minded way in Trinidad where football is concerned, in the sense that yes, we all want to make a World Cup. Yes, we all want to play at the highest level. But everybody could have the same ability, but it's really actually who have the heart and the passion to go out there, And it was clear to see from Levi Garcia, and I think that also comes from his exposure. He might be wanting to go to our next club. He might want to play in one of the top 5 leagues, whatever the case may be. And he could, after watching his performance today, I genuinely feel like he could get to that. Some club in Germany could pick him up. But it was a bittersweet moment. I think it was more of a learning experience for the players, for the coaching staff, and everybody.
And colleague, before we came on, we was talking about he was also talking about Alvin Jones. He was saying he's our next one who was good today as well. But sorry, go ahead.
Alvin has been good throughout the Gold Cup and the previous Gold Cup campaign. If you remember, Mexico was mad at him, that kind of thing. Alvin is that type of player. But our next guy that we didn't mention, and he has produced. He didn't play much, but it's who they call in Trinidad Messi, Real Gil. As Real Gil comes onto the pitch, is instant energy, and as a young man with something to prove. So I think the selection, you have youngsters like Real Gil. I was glad he got the opportunity to experience the Gold Cup. But look at, we have Nathaniel James, the leading scorer in the Premier League. Kaim Thomas. These are the guys I need to start to come into. No disrespect to Kevin Molino and Joven Jones, and these guys did you. But it's time. Levi's getting older. Look, Judah was injured. Levi's getting older. These guys, Levi wants to see a World Cup. Levi Garcia coming from the humble background he came from, and it's just his drive. What he wants to be better. I wouldn't say it's based on the level that he's playing at, but Levi has always been so from his days in Cox coaching school. Come straight up. So we had to look at that. Is the mentality of the guys. It's only we have this mindset, we get complacent quickly as Trinbagonians. I make national team. I said it, that can work. And Shannon Gomez came on and provided a huge difference. But the game before, which against Jamaica, I think he started both Shannon and Alvin on opposite flanks. Shannon tries more on the right side, but that's hard too as a coach because you have two excellent guys at wing back. That's a tough decision, but otherwise, Angus needs to go back to the drawing board. And I might be wrong. I might come off kind of off saying, actually, I wouldn't be. Angus needs to go back and look at how Bertel Sinclair coached them back in the day, managed the team, and how Ben Hacker managed the World Cup team. Because back then the football was excellent. It take Peter Crouch pulling Brent. If you look at it, back in the day, Trinidad might have come out of the group hadn't been for the England game in the World Cup.
Yeah.
So that is it.
Yeah.
I agree with you because as we all agreed before, is like you had when you're picking a squad, you always pick with the purpose of success, right? And your highest point can be the ceiling, if you understand what I mean. Like you can say, well, we go pick a squad because we trying to get out the group, and then you don't know what you're doing after. You're not considering that, okay, you come out your group, you might have to play Mexico next, and Mexico playing well. You might have to play this other team, understand? So you always want to pick your best team. And I'm being honest, and as Khalid rightfully said, no disrespect to Kevin Molino, Jovan Jones, none of these players, because they have helped Trinidad football. They have inspired a lot of younger players and these kind of things. But in terms of selection, it have too much talent here right now that honestly makes it difficult to pick a squad, right? And you cannot just pick a squad based off of who you know right now or who you're comfortable picking. You understand? You have to be placed in uncomfortable situations. You have to give players a chance to prove themselves, and that's how you rightfully said that you get the experience. That's how the coach will be able to put his trust in you, because it's all chance, But as I say, it's a learning experience.
Hey, thanks for sliding into another episode of the Interception. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We out.